One of the sites I go to find content for you guys is Everyday Feminism. One of the worst sites on the internet by far. I stumbled upon something there yesterday. 10 examples of media misrepresentation and the real life consequences. I'm going to read the introduction that they provide so that you guys have a better idea about what this is supposed to be, and then we'll talk a little bit about what it actually is. Content warning: suicide, ableism, anti-black violence, fat stigmatism. You know what? If you're on a feminist website, that's pretty much all the stuff they bitch about, so why do you even need a trigger warning? The trigger warning should just be on the site. Warning: we talk about things that trigger you here because we're a feminist site and that's all we got. It's just a movie. What's the big deal about misrepresentation in the media? You may think that issues like stereotypes on TV, offensive Halloween costumes, and fat-shaming magazine covers are trivial. Wow, it's like you fucking know me. Holy shit, yeah, I do think they're trivial. But the real-life impact of these issues is much more dangerous than you might realize. Here's a comic that connects the dots to show why media misrepresentation, even when it shows up in just a movie, is something we should all care about. With love, the editors at Everyday Feminism. All right, guys, so you thought all those issues were trivial, but no. Everyday Feminism fixing to connect them dots, y'all. Ooh, look, all them dots, and you connect them and you see patriarchy. Ooh, it's the patriarchy coming for you. Ha 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 ha. So the most remarkable thing about this comic to me, before we even really begin taking a look at this stuff, is that it's actually kind of inscrutable. A lot of the connections they're trying to make, you have to sit there and really think about it for like a minute or so. Like, what are they saying here? I'm not even sure what the fuck this is supposed to mean. So yeah, some of it's kind of puzzling, but I think I figured it all out, so let's get into it. So the first little entertainment and then the real life consequences thing is it shows a magazine on a rack. It's called Fancy Magazine. I don't know if that's a real magazine or not, or they don't give a shit. And on the cover there is a black person, well, really a green person, because black is not used in this comic. All POCs are green for some reason. Maybe it's because they're all secretly Martians. I don't know. So you see this POC on the magazine cover, but they're kind of whitewashed a little bit, you know? They're not the darkest black person. And then the real life consequence. Two people taking a selfie, and one of them's like, check out this filter, you look so good. And the other person's kind of like, I don't know, I look whitewashed. I look washed out. Yeah, so that's the first one. Do you get it? What they're saying is that because there was a lighter-skinned, dark person on a magazine cover, or possibly someone who was photoshopped to look lighter than their skin tone actually is, that's why your fucking Instagram has all those crazy filters. You know, those two things, you know those aren't connected at all, right? Like the filters on your fucking camera, I mean, yeah, maybe there do exist filters to look lighter skinned, but that's because people want that. And it's not because of racism, it's just because, hey, you know, we all have problems with the way we fucking look. There's plenty of white people who want to go to the fucking tanning salon and get darker. Is that because magazines make being dark seem so awesome? No, people just get ideas in their head like, ooh, my skin should be this shade instead of this shade. Or, you know, my nose shouldn't have so much fucking blackheads on it. Oh, all these fucking pores, oh, they're all gunked up. Or, oh, my eyelashes are too fucking short or too long. Or my eyebrows are too bushy or too thin. Or my lips are too big or too small. People have insecurities. Insecurities weren't created by the fucking magazine industry, assholes. And yeah, those Instagram filters, there's ones that'll make your face look darker. There's ones that'll make the shadows look darker. There's all kinds of crazy fucking photo filters out there. They don't exist solely to fucking, accommodate some fucking racist white agenda. Like, oh yeah, let's give the black people this fucking filter that makes them look lighter. Because then we're tacitly saying to them, you're not white enough. Ha! Fuck you, black America. Use this fucking photo filter to look white. Give me a fucking break. It's not how it works. It's not how it's happening. Here's an even more confusing one. This is number 2. There's a guy and he's holding the hand of someone on a deathbed, and the machine is making the little beep, flatline, dead. And they're sobbing. And then the next panel is, but you can't like boys. You'll die. And it's a child who I guess is looking up at an adult and saying this. So I guess what they're saying is they're inferring that the person from the first panel is a gay guy holding the hand of his gay lover who probably, I don't know, died of AIDS or some shit. And it's not even clear. You can't even see the other person. You don't know their fucking gender. But yeah, they're saying that because like you might see a TV movie where some gay dude dies of AIDS and their boyfriend has like, oh no, kids are gonna see that and then they're gonna be like, all gay people are gonna die of AIDS. You know what? The problem there is not the depiction of a gay person dying on their deathbed. Because guess what? Everyone dies. I don't know if you guys know this. Every last motherfucking human being on the planet is going to die someday. And many of us will have that moment where we're on the hospital bed and then the fucking thing goes, beep, you're dead, you're dead, your time is up, you're gone. Okay? You can show a straight person having that happen to them, but if you show a gay person having that happen to them, it's some sort of fucking problematic thing, and kids are going to see it and be like, oh no! If my daddy is gay, then he's gonna die! Your dad's gonna die anyway. And by the way, that's a stupid fucking kid you got. If your kid is so fucking stupid that they see one gay person die in a movie and assume that that is the fate of all gay people, well, they're right because it's the fate of all people. But if they think that gay people especially are singled out for death, because they saw that in a fucking movie, your kid's a fucking retard. Your kid's a fucking retard. Next panel, black dude. Once again, a green dude, but he's supposed to be black. Looks like he fucking eats about 20 pounds of fucking donuts a day. Cops are shouting at him, hands up! And he's like, no! And he's holding a bag that just says drugs on it. Like, yeah, drugs. Ha ha. Oh, yeah. What's the real life consequence of that? A bunch of newspapers, most of which are cut off, so you can't even really see the full headlines or anything. Officer who, blank, 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 describes blank as a demon. Blah, blah, blah. What they're actually saying here is the reason that cops shoot black people is not because they're committing crimes. It's not because of even institutional racism in the police department. No, it's not even that. You know what it really is? All these fucking shows on TV. These cops watch these shows where they see... Like, you realize that cops actually deal with criminals on a daily basis, right? They're not getting their fucking idea of what a criminal is like from watching TV. They're getting their idea of what a criminal is like by actually dealing with fucking criminals on a daily goddamn basis! Are you fucking shitting me? So here's the next one. There's a magazine and it says the obesity epidemic goes global, and there's a fucking fat tub of shit standing on the globe, and the globe is actually like yielding to his weight, you know, like this person's so fucking fat, the earth itself fucking becomes convex when they're standing upon it. Okay? Or is it concave? Whatever. I always get those confused. So, the next panel is a woman at her doctor. And the doctor said, losing weight should lower your blood pressure. Then we'll see how your headaches are doing. And she says, okay. And there's an arrow pointing to her head that says, actually a blood clot. Do you think that doctors, when they tell their patients to lose weight, do you think that's based on the mountains of medical evidence that suggests that obesity is unhealthy, that doctors have access to? Or do you think it's because the doctor saw a magazine cover that said, hey, obesity epidemic? Well, whoa, I never knew about this. Next time I get a fat patient, I'm just going to blame whatever ailment they have on being fat. You know, and yeah, it is perfectly possible for this scenario to play out, by the way. It is perfectly possible for a fat person to go into a doctor and the doctor to say, your headaches are probably because you're fat. And it turns out that's not the real reason. But guess what? That's a more likely reason than a fucking blood clot in your head. Do you really want a doctor that if you go in complaining of headaches, the first thing they assume is blood clot? That's a waste of time for 99% of fucking patients who go in complaining of headaches. That's why the doctor said lose the weight, get the blood pressure down, and then we'll see if that changes the situation with your headaches. And if it doesn't, then we'll look into other things. Do you really think doctors are sitting around looking at fucking magazine covers like, oh, so this is what's unhealthy? It wasn't their fucking years of medical training or anything like that. It was a fucking magazine cover. God. What world do you live in? This is connecting the dots? You haven't connected shit. The chasm between these fucking dots is incredible. It's bigger than the fucking Grand Canyon. Long-wise, motherfucker. That's the fucking chasm that exists between the two dots. You didn't connect them. Oh, look, a magazine cover saying that there's an obesity problem in our country. That's why doctors are acting this way. Has nothing to do with their medical training. This one is I don't know, this one might be my favorite here. So there's a costume rack. It's around Halloween time, and this is the display for this costume, and it says, spooky, terrorist costume. Is spooky really the word for a terrorist? Man, these terrorists, they're spooky, aren't they? They're kind of spooky. Ooh, I am a terrorist. You know, no. Dracula is spooky. Terrorists are terrifying. Because guess what? They're fucking real. Haha. But okay, that's not even the point. What is this? What scenario is this sale of this costume going to lead to? Mosque burned on anniversary of 9/11, day before Islamic holiday. Oh, God. No. This isn't real. This has got to be bullshit, right? There's no way they're this stupid. There's no fucking way. Okay, so some fucking crazy dude is like, I'm going to burn down a mosque. Okay? Why did they do it? Because a Halloween costume store sold a terrorist costume. Those don't fit. Those pieces don't fit together, all right? Here's an idea. Maybe the guy who burned down the mosque And I'm not saying that anyone's right to do something like that, but maybe he did it because of all the fucking Islamic terrorism. Maybe he did it because of all the fucking migrants coming to Western countries and raping women and causing the crime rate to skyrocket. Maybe it was in response to that and not a fucking Halloween costume. Is that possible? Could that be a possibility? I mean, are you shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me right now? Please tell me that this is a fucking parody. Please tell me that everyday feminism is just the most elaborate fucking Poe ever. I'm begging you to fucking tell me that. Because this is hideous. These people look at this comic and say, yep, nailed it. I don't even know how to be that delusional. I've often said that feminism is a religion. This is fucking proof. Because only religious logic could lead someone to believe such fucking erroneous conclusions. Only religious logic could lead someone to fucking say that the reason a fucking mosque was burned down was because of a fucking Halloween costume. That's religious thinking. That's gibberish thinking. That's like saying that, what's the difference between that and saying that if I pray, my prayers will be answered? What's the difference between that and saying that, if I throw salt over my shoulder, that's going to cancel out some magic bad luck I got from spilling the salt? How is that anything but superstition? How is that anything but complete insanity? There's more. We're only halfway through. We're only halfway fucking through. So, the next comic, this is a scene from Mrs. Doubtfire, basically. It's supposed to be Robin Williams, I guess. And he's revealed. And they're like, Dad? Yeah, it was Mrs. Doubtfire was your daddy all along. What is this going to lead to? Two people talking about a job position. Gary and Maria are out. What about Natasha? What, Mrs. Doubtfire? We couldn't have that at the front desk. This is the one that perplexed me the most. This is the one I had to sit and think about, like, what the fuck are they even trying to say here the longest? But I finally figured it out. What they're saying is that because of movies like Mrs. Doubtfire, transgender people are taken less seriously. That's right. The reason that this fucking bank or whatever doesn't want to hire a transgender person is because Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah. The bank person saw Mrs. Doubtfire and they're like, oh, I see. All these trannies are just dressing up like women for, so they could see their kids or something. So fuck them. What? What is the connection between Mrs. Doubtfire and a fucking business not hiring a trans person? What is the connection? Oh yeah, I remember. Nothing! Fucking goddamn nothing! There's no fucking connection. This one just pisses me off. They all piss me off, I guess. But, a miracle. Baby hears mother for the first time. And we've all seen the videos and stuff where, they got the little deaf baby, gets the cochlear implants, then it hears its mother for the first time, and it smiles. Yeah, that's apparently not something that we should look at or indulge in any way, because this deaf Muslim girl will then get a text that says, but why wouldn't you want an implant? You could hear again. Well, holy fuck, what a dark dystopian future. None of us should find it inspirational or cute or heartwarming or anything that, a deaf child could hear its mother's voice for the first time, the emotional impact of that moment, we should just fucking disregard it, because somewhere down the line, someone's going to confront a deaf person and say, why wouldn't you want that? And then that person's going to have to roll their eyes and be like, bleh. Oh yeah, here's the problem with that. Isn't that a valid fucking question? If you're deaf and you have the ability to get an implant that'll make you hear, yeah, why wouldn't you want that, retard? You know what it is? I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but there's actually like a deaf supremacist community that actually, if you're deaf and you get a cochlear implant, other people who are deaf will look down on you for that. Like, how dare you join the ranks of the hearers? That's probably not what they call us, but it's basically like that. Retarded shit. Yeah, I'm proud I can't hear. Me lacking the ability to hear things means I'm part of a superior race. If you believe that, then deafness is the least of your fucking problems, retard. Yeah. And if you don't want to get a cochlear implant, that's your fucking choice. But guess what? If people ask you the very valid question, why not? That's not because... that's not even because of that article, for fuck's sake. It's not even because of the fucking baby who could hear for the first time and smiled. It's because it's inconceivable to think that someone who can't hear wouldn't want to hear. You're missing out on so much by not being able to hear. It's not ableist. It's not fucking ableist to say, yeah, hearing is better than not being able to hear. Walking is better than not being able to walk. Being able to talk is better than not being able to talk. Well, maybe in the case of these SJWs, that is actually reversed. But my point stands. All right, here's the next one. I sacrificed everything for her. I had dreams of a happy family, but then my husband left. And underneath, cut off for some reason. Why are you cutting off relevant information in your comic, by the way? What is this shit where you're gonna like cut shit off? Like, you designed the comic, you laid out the fucking thing. You can make sure that shit's not cut off that's relevant. What, do you have some fucking vendetta against people being able to understand what the fuck you're talking about? But anyway, it says autism tore our family apart, whatever. So because someone reported on how autism tore a family apart, guess what that's responsible for? Mother arrested for death of autistic son. Yeah, because some fucking newspaper or magazine or TV show decided to cover the story of some people's lives who were messed up by autism. That's responsible for the mother killing her autistic son. Maybe she's just a psycho bitch. Or maybe it's because raising an autistic kid is hard and she just got frustrated and did the wrong thing. You know? It's not the fault of the fucking magazine or the newspaper or something else that just reported on the fucking hard truth that raising a kid with autism is challenging and difficult and can be a strain on your fucking life and your relationships. Maybe we don't want to admit that. Maybe that's not a nice thing to fucking say. But in the words of Audrey too, but it's true, isn't it? Yes, it's fucking true. You're saying that reporting the truth leads to bad stuff. Well, you know what? If reporting the truth does lead to bad stuff, then so fucking be it. Because the truth takes precedence over your need to micromanage the fucking world. Nancy, please. Wait, Nancy? That's supposed to be a woman? Oh, I guess I shouldn't assume her gender. You don't want to hurt yourself. It's just the borderline talking. You don't know me! And then there's some people, it looks like they're in a hospital. And one of the orderlies is saying, she's so unreasonable, I bet she's borderline. Well, where are they? Are they in a mental ward? Maybe she is borderline. It seems like if you're in that setting, then yeah, that'd be something you could actually diagnose, right? What is this? So the reason that like psychiatrists and psychologists and shit diagnose people with borderline personality disorders because they saw a fucking retarded fucking TV show where some fucking melodramatic faggot is like, you don't fucking know me. They're like, yep, that's what my patients got. Fuck my medical training. I'm gonna go off what I saw on fucking TV. What? What are you fucking talk? What are you? Let me just calm down for a second. What the fuck are you talking about? Seriously, what are you talking about? What is this? Did you design this comic specifically to destroy my already tenuous grasp of reality? Is that what's going on here? Is this like a psychological experiment designed to fuck with me? Well, you ain't gonna break me, motherfuckers. One left. There's only one more to go. We're nearly done. Here's a TV doctor saying it's not just a low sex drive. She also has headaches and fatigue. It must be lupus. And then the next panel is a dude and his girlfriend sitting in a movie theater, and he's saying, shouldn't you see a doctor if you don't want to have sex? And she said, gee, never heard that one before. Well, yeah, you actually haven't ever heard that one before because no one in the entire history of the human race has ever said that. My girlfriend doesn't want to have sex with me. Must be because she's sick. No. Most dudes understand that at some point in their relationship, their girlfriend probably isn't going to fuck them as much as she used to. Not true for everybody. You know what the really crazy thing is? And I know that it's kind of weird for me to conflate two different things, but earlier today, I was on Slate.com seeing if there was anything better to make a story about. And I checked out the Dear Prudence section, and there was a woman complaining about how her husband didn't want to have sex with her. And you know what the feminist over at Dear Prudence said? She said, well, if he doesn't want to have sex with you, just break up with him. Be done with his ass. If he ain't giving you what you need, get out of there, girlfriend. Nice little double standard you feminazis have there. If the guy is not putting out, dump him. Kick him to the curb, girlfriend. If the girl's not putting out, how dare you even say anything? She's not your fucking sex object. Just kill me now. Please? Would someone just do me the favor of blowing my fucking brains out so I don't have to deal with this shit anymore? At least I got this hat. Scotty gave me this for Christmas. What do you think? Does it look stupid? I like it. Anyway, I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out. And I heard that there's a super volcano in Italy that might blow up and kill a bunch of people. And after reading this comic, good.